about Dizz Hicks? Have you ever talked to him or are friends with Dizz?
He's active on like Facebook and Instagram, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a message from his brother one day asking for some stickers. I made those Stan, and I'm like, hey, that's not Dizz, that's my friend Stan. He goes, either way, I want it. It's an awesome sticker. But Dizz, about 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, a guy named Ryan Humphrey was doing an art thing. He's an artist from Ohio, and he was doing this thing where he had like all these bikes. His exhibit was like bikes and ramps, and he had Dizz come and do a show with him.
Kick turn show in the
and
museum.
He literally gave Dizz a bike and a helmet, and Dizz hadn't ridden for like. I was like, oh man, you've been practicing.
I think I've seen clips of that on YouTube.
Yeah. And Dizz is like, I haven't been on a bike since I left the CW tour.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty crazy.
Because I was always infatuated by him. He was such an entertainer.
Yeah.
I mean, he was full of energy, a lot of fun.
He was like the best ambassador of the sport back then because he made you, and his tricks, he wasn't even that great of a rider, but he was awesome. Like his
energy and all was just great.
His energy, his just the way that he reacted with the crowd, like or interact with the crowd.
Yep. He was a rock star. He was.
Total
He
rock
was,
star.
and all the way down to the way he walked.
Yeah.
Like
he
walked.
When
he
he
had
would
a
walk,
strut.
when he walks into a place, you're like, oh, and he's only 5'8" or 5'6". He's a small dude. So if you want to, here's the saddest Dizz Hicks story.
Oh, I know this.
And it's not him when he was drugged out. No. So I go to the CW factory with Gary in 1987. And CW's transitioning from CW to RevCore.
Yep.
And the so we're there, and I'm thinking like the CW factory. This is gonna be awesome. We're going to the CW factory. Thinking it's gonna be like this huge like factory. The CW factory was like almost like a storage unit. Basically.
Oh, really?
It was like an office with a It wasn't big at all. It wasn't like crazy. It's nothing like the GT factory. The GT factory is what was bigger than I was like. I was like, the GT factory, holy shit!
I was
But
about that.
yeah. So we go to the CW factory, and it's still cool. Like there's still bikes, and there's still all the shit there.
Right.
And like we see Seppi's bike that has a drum brakes on it. Like it's the last bike that Seppi rode. It was black with drum brakes and rims. And then there's a bike box, and it's like zippered open and some stuff hanging out. And we just kind of like walk past it, and I look at it, and I'm like, that's Dizz's bike box. And I'm like, that's Seppi's bike. And so like I'm just out there on a hit and run trip. I'm like get there Friday, contest Saturday, Sunday, and then you leave Monday. So we're at the factory, and Roger Horsham asks me, Tim Rogers, Gary, Carl Argila, and little Eric Evans, hey, if you guys get a chance, can you do me a favor? Can you get that, all those, and that, and just, I have a dumpster here that I just rented. We got to throw all this stuff out because we're bringing our RevCore stuff in.
Wow.
So we threw out like 150 luggage rack bikes. And we were making so much noise. They were like, hey, can you guys keep it down? We're throwing them in they're making so much noise in the empty dumpster.
Oh my God.
So today, that's like, each bike was like $1,000 just thrown in. But back then they were unsellable. You couldn't sell them. And then we had we're like, well, what about Dizz's bike box? You want to throw this out? And they're like, yeah. They're like, we called him, he don't want it. So in the box was Dizz's bike taken apart, leather jacket, his helmet, all his tapes.
I hope you took it.
Well, I couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't. What I should have done. Now you have to remember, I'm 17 years old.
Right, exactly.
And I'm just like whatever. What I should have done is I should have zipped it up and put it in Tim Rogers' truck, and I put it on the airplane and bring it home. But I never thought of it.
Yeah, you don't think when you're young like that, you don't care about that.
Now, today, that would be.
His jacket should be in a museum.
That would be better.
No, it really should.
That would be better than a bar of gold.
Right?
If you could, like, it'd be like a time machine, or like a time capsule. I mean,
it's crazy, man.
So I remember getting that, and I think Carl Argila helped me pick it up and throw it into the dumpster. So
That's sad.
Yeah.
That is sad, man.
And then they were bringing all the RevCore stuff. So like Seppi's bike got tossed that day,
Yeah.
most likely. Everything got chucked.
Yeah, at the time you didn't know it'd be such history.
Yeah.
You just didn't.
But
That's crazy.
But Magoo had a couple good Dizz. You ought to listen to that Dizz or the Magoo podcast with the Unclicked, him and Chris Muller.
Okay.
It's 3 hours and it's awesome. It's really good, and they have a lot of great Dizz Hicks stories on there.
Nice.
Really good Dizz Hicks. Dizz showed up for tour with a helmet and a bike. No clothes, no toothbrush, no socks, nothing. Just showed up like this to go on tour.
Wow.
No money.
No money, just, all right, I'm here.
Wow.